Witam Państwa.
Ladies and gentlemen, from north, Kłodawa commune surrounds Gorzów. Its own values, nearness to Gorzów, good media arrangement and great communication arrangement system, nearness of Gorzowska forest and scenery park, attractive grounds for housing accommodations and production and services, constantly attracts new inhabitants and firms. In Kłodawa, everyone can find his own piece of earth and build his own house of dreams. Firms which will place itself in Kłodawa commune can count on help and investment preparation and on many years tax relief. Here, after hard day work, you can take a bicycle ride through over 100 kilometers bicycle tracks and safe bicycle paths. Clean waters of over 20 lakes and several rivers attracts amateurs of fishing, canoeing and other tourists. Rich forest is a paradise for hunters, mushroom pickers and nature lovers. Here everyone can regenerate himself after hard day work. Let me invite you to Kłodawa commune. Kłodawa commune is situated on Gorzowska upland, on borderland of lubuskie and zachodniopomorskie province, in northern part of Gorzowski administrative district, near to Nowogródek Pomorski, Barlinek, Lubiszyn, Strzelce Krajeńskie, Santok and Gorzów. On 234.83 square kilometers area lives over 6,000 inhabitants. Its administrative commune's borders, there are 12 localities which create 11 of village administrators' offices. Abode of communal authorities is Kłodawa, which is situated on the edge of Gorzowska forest over Kłodawa lake on Gorzów-Barlinek road. Kłodawa's and neighboring localities' history is very interesting and rich. History of colonization of this region reaches 700 to 400 years before Christ, about what testify founded on archaeological positions near Kłodawa and Wojcieszyce crematory graves, characteristic for Lusatian culture. Present grounds of Kłodawa commune till the half of 13th century belonged to Pomorzanie and Polanie. Kłodawa and Mironice took part to Noteć and Warta defensive line system, which center determined Santok. In second half of 13th century, these grounds were taken along by Brandenburscy margraves and entered the new margravate composition. First written mention about Kłodawa originate from 1300, when in Kłodawa was a meeting of Margrave Albrecht III with clergy and with knights in matter of foundation new cloister in Mironice. Name Kłodawa probably descends from consolidation raised from longs. Later stormy Kłodawa history always depended on a Cistercian cloister and after annulment of cloister from elector's domain in Mironice. After 1945 this dependence has turned around. During the Second World War, in Kłodawa was situated little prisoner of war camp. In January 1945, village occupied Russians, and then remained Polish administration and repatriates from eastern borderland. Today's Kłodawa is a constantly developing locality counting over 1,500 inhabitants, with new estate housing, with full technician infrastructure. Kłodawa commune of scenery park and sanctuaries. Beyond 65% of commune's area determinate Gorzowska forest. That is great forest complex growing on Sander plain formed around 12,000 years ago through fusing glacier. In the heart of Gorzowska forest is Barlinecko-Gorzowski Scenery Park, protected area about uncommon natural, historical and cultural values. In the heart of Gorzowska forest is Barlinecko-Gorzowski Scenery Park, protected area about uncommon natural, historical and cultural values. Scenery Park area that's over 32,000 hectares and large of protective zone Kleeding, which is about 32,000 kilometers area. On Kłodawa commune, park occupies 8,625 hectares and Kleeding 8,170 hectares. These are grounds occupied with forest, with gentle sculpture of ground, variety of streams, rivers, courses and lakes through which rivers flows. Meanders of rivers and charming lakes with one's own naturalness and with cleanness grant specific beauty and make Scenery Park especially picturesque. Gorzowska Forest, that's a real nature storehouse. Most of all, you can find here pine, beech, oak, spruce, rake, elm, birch, alder, occasionally also large and green Douglas spruce. You can find here around 250 positions of protected plants. In this orchids and sundews, and 140 species of growth, growing exclusively in a clean environment. About 27% of those remained as dying species, embraced with special protection. You can meet here about 100 species of birds, such exceptional as kingfishers, eagles, owls, kitties, white eagles, ospreys, golden eyes, water sawyers. Forestry character of park abounds in hunting game. Natural values of Gorzowska Forest are unusual, valuable in European scale. That's why its considerable area remained proposed to inclusion in Pan-European Ecological System Net Nature 2000, which assures permanent assistance for dying ecosystem and for plants and animal species. For protection of the most precious flora and fauna species, there are 3 sanctuaries remained in Kłodawa commune grounds. Forest reservations Wilanów, Dębina and Buki Zdrojskie, and 1 water reservation Przyłężek River. Registered here are also several monuments of nature. Most precious of them is an oak with circuit about 420 centimeters and 26 meters high in Łośno neighborhood, and also 5 beaches over ponds in Mironice. Besides, between Gorzów and Różanki, at the National Road 22 is found Linden Avenue, registered as a monument. Kłodawa commune is very well developed of touristic tracks for hiking and bicycle riding. There are 5 market hiking tracks, from 3 of which are united in Santoczno, recognized as central point of hiking in this region. Successive tracks and marked a new section of bicycle tracks and a built new bicycle path. Till now become over 10 kilometers of bicycle path. Clean rivers, Kłodawka, Marwica, Przyłęk, Srebrna, Santoczna, and over 20 lakes abound in fish. Over 20 reservoirs are allowed by Polish angling relationship to unprofessional fishing. Lakes Kłodawa, Nierzym, and Wełmino Duże in Zdrojsk are developed as watering resorts attractive for Gorzów inhabitants and tourists. History of region illustrate numerous of objects connected to existence on this ground, medieval Sisterski Abbey in Mironice, and coming from 18th century eternal metallurgies of iron. It is proper to put attention on interesting architecture of country churches from Roman to Neo-Gothic. In Kłodawa, situated on the edge of Gorzowska Forest, you can see Neo-Gothic church from red bricks with wooden cradle vault from the half of 19th century, and mansion with special construction and with official building with a barn. At present, there is abode of Kłodawa Forest Inspectorate. About 3 kilometers from Kłodawa in Mironice, you should see mansion from 1830, standing in place of former Cistercian Abbey, surrounded with a park, and there is a cottage from 18th century. Besides, in forest, in about 3 kilometers distance from Mironice, it is proper to see place where till 1945, among forest, was situated Marzęcin village, so-called Marian Spring. Today, after village only lapidarium state, standing monument in center of village, ruins of water mill, and striking all the time Maria's Spring, Also commemorative board reminding history of village. About 1.5 kilometers from Marzęcin, in forest, you can find Curiosity, a monument of forester. In Santocko, situated over Marwica River, neo-Gothic church from the beginning of 20th century with interesting round stained glass window originating from preceding temple. Chwalęcice locality, adjoining Gorzów, can boast neo-Gothic church from 1860, in which tower bell from 1679 is placed, originating from the other temple. Oldest on commune ground, later Roman, one aisle church built from granite blocks at the beginning of 13th century, with tower added in 1705. You can find in Wojcieszyce, which is situated about 4 kilometers from Kłodawa. In Różanki instead, church from beginning of 18th century with Baroque altar from second half of 18th century and neoclassical grand theme from the first half of 19th century. To metallurgic tradition were connected Zdroisko and Santoczno. Today's Zdroisko is a small summer resort surrounded with Gorzowska Forest and Santoczna River, in immediate neighborhood of Zdroiskie Buki Sanctuary. Formerly existed here water mill and in 1770 till 1956 ironworks, which activities left here blocks of metallurgic slag till nowadays. Different objects coming from history of village and of region are shown here in interesting historic room. In Santoczno, situated over Mrowinko Lake and over Santoczna River, is necessary to see unique one-aisle church from 18th century, rebuilt from former smelting works magazine. In tower of the church, added in 1818, are placed two bells made in Berlin from 1811 to 1812. You can find a historic room in a church building where inhabitants accumulated different souvenirs from the past. In village you can see reminders of ruins of former water mill and of ironworks shop, where in 18th century wire, nails, iron in bars and artillery bullets, so-called grape shots, were executed. In 1785, here were executed some elements of the first German steam engine. About this fact reminds placed in center of village monument with founding of bas-relief of steam engineer. In Łośno, church from 1913. About 2 kilometers from Łośno, it is proper to stop in Lipy, over Lubie Lake, to visit working here from 2000 didactic forest station. Here, under eye of specialists, take place non-typical ecological education practice for children, young people and students. Station has a great number of visitors, organized groups, as well as individual tourists. In Kłodawa commune you can stop and have some rest in following centers. Center of Sport and Recreation, OSIR, watering place Nierzyn, situated at the National Road 22, about 17 kilometers from Gorzów. Center has at its disposal 21 sleeping places in hostel and cottages and its own camping site. The Police's Center of Holiday Zdroisko over Wełmino Duże Lake in Zdroisko, offering 60 hostel places in cottages. Agrotouristic pension Chata za wsią in Santoczno, offering 20 hostel places and homemade gourmet. Forester's House Przyłęcko, situated in the center of Barlinecko-Gorzowski Scenery Park, close to Wilanów reservation, having at its disposal 26 hostel places in two-people rooms and apartments. The center assures day-long homemade gourmet and wide scale of additional and recreational services. You can also get some rest in agrotouristic lodgings in Santoczno, Rybaków and Lipy. Earlier, Kłodawa commune was a typical agricultural commune. Nowadays, for agricultural aims is used only 20% of commune area, mostly specialized in gardening and fruit growing. In here, in Różanki, is well known in the country and abroad horticultural farm producing in greenhouses about 12 hectares, 15,000 tons of tomatoes a year, 1 million pieces of quick sets of tomatoes, 2,000 tons of apples, 1,000 tons of onion, and also not large quantities of ground vegetables. Owner of the company, so-called Tomato King, is a conqueror of many prestige economic prizes. Convenient commune situation, short distance from Gorzów, and of large European agglomeration gives a great conditions for enterprises development. Equally important factor is the suitable policy of communal authorities, encouraging to undertaking economic activities and inciting new investors for whom commune offers attractive armed grounds for investments and a row of reliefs and of tax preferences. Most of all of new firms originated in Kłodawa. There are Biovet, logistics center of a company well known in the world from production of veterinary medicines and animal nourishment, which is a continuator of many years pharmaceutical industry tradition in Gorzów. Bill USA, producer of woodwork, windows, and of a winter gardens facades. Constance, producer and distributor of a high-quality windows, woodwork, PCV, in large measure exported to Germany, Belgium, Luxembourg, Croatia, and Ukraine. Ecotherm company occupied itself with installation and modern heating systems and sanitary systems. Besides, in Wojcieszyce has its abode authorized Toyota dealer. Every year, during Kłodawa economic meetings, 3 most active on-market firms are awarded with Kłodawski Fruit of Success. In 2006, organized under patronage of Vice Marshal of Lubuskie Province, economic meeting took place in Forester's House Przyłęsko. The chapter admitted figuring for following firms: HMB, Forester's House Przyłęsko, Ecotherm and Agrodrev, and also 5 distinctions: Dango, Fruit Growing Farm Kubera, Blamet, Wetokinol Biovet, Lemar, Construction Establishment Olejnik. Commune's development would not be possible without investments. That's why in last few years, from own communes funds and gained over European Union funds, many of large investments were realized. Most important of them are construction of water suitability station and sanitary mains in Zdroisko, Santoczno and Rybakowo, modernization of old sanitary mains in several localities, construction of sanitary mains in Wojcieszyce and Różanki, modernization and reconstruction of street and roads in localities Chwalęcice, Różanki, Kłodawa, Wojcieszyce, Santoczno, construction of about 10 kilometers of bicycle path, construction of gas net in several localities, extension and modernization of kindergartens and schools, construction of new sports hall in Różanki. In 2005, Kłodawa Commune, as one of the 4 communes of Lubuskie Province, was found in the best communes ranking, so-called Golden 100 of Autonomies, organized by Rzeczpospolita and Center of Regional Researches. Basic creation for the ranking was a sum of investment executed in 2002 till 2004 in count on 1 inhabitant. Educational commune base determined 2 nursery schools and 2 teams of school in Kłodawa and Różanki, instructive on level of elementary school and grammar school. Besides, in Kłodawa is a secondary school for workers. Both teams of schools are well equipped with didactic help and computer rooms with internet access. There are also communal libraries in Kłodawa and Różanki. Workshop of occupation therapy in Chwalencice have a practical and educational classes for handicapped people. Cultural life of commune concretes around communal center of culture, with its abode in Wojcieszyce and 10 country club rooms, where several of sitting musical, childish and youth groups practicing. Communal Center of Culture, together with country club rooms, organizes many cultural performances and art competitions and sport recreational events. In commune work also for horse. Most popular is Kłodawianki, acting from 1997. Singing groups act also in Różanki, Santocko and Łośno. Schools and 4 sport clubs from Różanki, Wojcieszyce and Kłodawa takes care of commune sport activities. The most popular sport discipline is football. In frames of membership to Euroregion Pro-Europa Viadrina, Kłodawa commune referred cooperation with German commune and the Lowland. Base of cooperation of both communes is a partnership contract contained on May 22nd of 2000 during the celebration of 700th anniversary of Kłodawa. Cooperation with German partners introduced huge movement in life of local communities. At the both sides of border are organized many cultural, sports and recreational events. Young people participate in exchange in common rallies and others. On the football fields, teams from Poland and Germany compete with each other. On Constance, the events calendar enrolled Polish-Germany angling contest for Kłodawska golden fish, Polish-Germany fireman contest, folkloristic groups meeting, football indoor tournament and many others. Cooperation begins itself on kindergarten level and finishes on seniors. For integration between Polish and German children help, for example, greetings of spring prepared by nursery school in Kłodawa. For senior, the great chance to get to know each other was a Christmas New Year celebration in Litzyn, an anniversary of cooperation in Zdroisko. Each localities of both communes also referred cooperation between Zdroisko and Litzyn, Santocko and Dolgelin, Łośno and Alt-Machliś. In 2006, another contract of cooperation was signed between Kłodawa and Falkenhagen. Most of common events and meetings were realized thanks to financial support from European Union funds. In May 2005, on Common Jubilee meeting in Kłodawa, partners summed up effects of 5 years cooperation, displayed commemorative board and plant friendship tree. This cooperation is very productive and profitable for both sides. With a great pleasure, we invite you to visit our commune, to have a walk through charming residences in Kłodawa. We are hoping that this film will encourage you to come to our commune, to get to know its cultural and natural heritage. You will not regret it.